you trying to stretch your budget right now? Well, let me show you what $100 could buy you at Walmart today. This video is being filmed in August of 2024 using prices in Northern Indiana at Walmart, regularly known as one of the cheapest grocery stores around. I'm using this trip to restock some items in my stockpile, so let me show you what I bought for $100 to hopefully give you some ideas of what you can stock up on too. Stay tuned to the end, and I'll also give you a top 10 list of the top things I think everyone can and should start stockpiling today. All right, let's get to it. Let me show you what I bought for $100. Here's the counter full of groceries that I bought for $100 today. Now I know these might not all be items that everyone would buy. I'm going to go through and give you the exact prices and tell you why I bought some of things. Just going forward, you should know that I really was doing this to restock the stockpile that I have in my pantry. If you'd like to see a link to that video, I'll leave that in the description. All right, so I was going to fill in some gaps of what I had, and I started with focusing on some baking things. I'm pretty well stocked on flour and sugar, but I wanted to restock brown sugar. This was $2.22 for a 2-pound bag, and I bought 6 bags of brown sugar right now because I do a lot of baking and I wanted to have that on hand. Yes, you can make your own brown sugar using white sugar and molasses, but brown sugar is very convenient for baking, and I have found that as long as it stays sealed in these bags, it does not get hardened and last quite a long time. Then I bought baking cocoa. It is currently $2.48 at Walmart for the 8-ounce containers. And the good thing about baking cocoa, when it is unsweetened baking cocoa, just like this is here, it does not expire. This is something that when it stays sealed, it's going to last a long time. Also, chocolate prices are starting to really creep up, so I decided to go ahead and get 4 jars of this to put on my shelf. Along with that, I always have chocolate chips in my pantry. I store them in a sealed plastic bin. You can freeze chocolate chips as well. But again, because I do a lot of baking, this is something I personally keep on hand. I went ahead and bought the 12-ounce bags of mini chocolate chips at Walmart. And these bags were $2.32 each. Now I can get them slightly cheaper by buying the Nestle brand at Sam's Club, the 72-ounce bag. That works out to about $1.91 for a 12-ounce bag. So that's how I prefer to buy my chocolate chips, but I wanted to have some mini ones on hand. So I grabbed 2 bags of that. Staying with the baking things, then I bought some cooking oil spray, the canola oil spray, $2.52 each. You will notice most of these things I am buying in multiples. I really try to stick to the principle of buy one for now, one for later, or more than that. As you see, if you will watch my stockpile videos, I know how much my family uses in about 6 months, and that's my goal, to have a 6 to 12 month supply of most things on my pantry shelves. So I grabbed 2 canola oils. I restocked some condiments of ketchup. It was $1.87 for that large container right there. And then I also bought some oats. I bought 1 container of Old Fashioned and 1 of Quick. These are currently $3.98. Oats have gotten more expensive, but the cheapest way to do it is to buy the generic like this. Now what I do is I will empty those containers into a large Ziploc bag. I store them in a plastic tin in my pantry just to make it space-wise a little more efficient to store. So those are the baking things I restocked. Then I also wanted to restock some canned goods and some other pantry items. I bought some jasmine rice. Now this is a little more expensive than the white grain long rice. So if you're looking for just the cheapest option, go with your white rice, your basic, and that will be cheaper. Jasmine was $5.97 for 5 pounds, but it was definitely cheaper to buy 5 pounds instead of the 1 or 2 pound bags. So I bought this for our family because we do a lot of rice with a recipe called poppy seed chicken. So I bought 12 cans of the cream of chicken soup for that recipe. Yes, you can make your own. This is very convenient, and I like having it on hand as well. And I found that this generic actually is pretty close to the Campbell's, and Walmart brand currently is only 68 cents. So I bought a dozen cans to have on our shelves in our pantry. I will use 2 of those every time I make poppy seed chicken, or 1 can every time I do a potato casserole or party potatoes. So this will go through very quickly in our family, something I like to have on the shelves. Some other canned goods I bought was I restocked some of our canned pumpkin. I used to always be able to get really good sales on this around the holidays, but we are running low and we bake pumpkin bread a lot. So I grabbed 6 cans of pure pumpkin at $1.47. I use this for baking, and I just wanted to have some more of that on the shelves. I restocked some black beans. Now it is cheaper price per ounce to buy dried beans and make your own, but canned beans are very convenient to have on your shelf. The black beans are up to 86 cents a can. This is a price for all the beans at Walmart if you want to restock. So I grabbed 2 cans of those. And then I restocked tomato products. I love having all sorts of tomato products on my pantry shelf. I restocked the tomato sauce, and this is just the regular tomato sauce. They do put a couple of spices in it, so be aware of that if you are buying that. There already are some spices in this one. And these cans, the 8-ounce cans, are currently 48 cents for one of those. And then I bought the slightly larger cans of tomato paste. These are 12-ounce cans because I can my own homemade salsa, and I need 2 6-ounce cans or a larger one like this for each batch of salsa I can. So I'm planning ahead with this. I bought 4 tomato paste cans. Each of these was $1.22, just a couple pennies savings versus the 6-ounce cans. Generally, I will recommend buying the smaller cans of tomato products like these because you don't want to waste it. You can freeze some of this if you don't use the entire thing at once. Otherwise, stick to the smaller cans. You don't want to waste products when you are stocking up on those. Then I stocked up on just a couple other pantry items. I bought this cornbread mix. For a long time I tried to make my own until I discovered this Fleischmann's Simply Homemade Cornbread Mix. It is $1.93. It is the best cornbread I have ever tried. Everyone I serve it to loves it as well, so I always keep a couple boxes on our pantry shelf. So I grabbed 2 to restock on our pantry. And then pasta is something we always have. My kids love pasta. I have quite a few boxes, but anytime I need to restock, I make sure this is very shelf stable, something to have on your shelves at all time, and it lasts a really long time. Pasta at Walmart is currently 98 cents a box. I also restocked just a couple spices. I grabbed 2 containers of salt. Salt is 67 cents each, so I grabbed 2 of those to have for seasonings. And then I grabbed some taco seasonings, each of these packets, and these are slightly larger. They had a 1-ounce packet for 49 cents, or they had a 1.25-ounce packet for 57 cents. So you're actually getting a better price per ounce by buying this. Yes, you can certainly make your own, and I have done that in a pinch. We still haven't found the exact spice variety that my family loves, so I like to keep some packets on hand for when we have taco night. And then the final thing I grabbed on this stockpile trip was actually some shampoo and conditioner because I do stockpile toiletries. I have a whole video about that as well. Yeah, I'll leave that link in the comments. I think it's a good thing to have all of those things that you use on a regular basis in your house, more than just what you are using this week. It saves you money, it saves you time, and just means you're prepared for a lot of things. So I grabbed 2 of the Suave shampoos and 2 of the Suave conditioner. I just noticed these are both shampoos. They sent me actually both shampoos. So 2 coconut shampoos, those were supposed to be conditioners, and then 2 of the clarifying shampoos right there. I'll have to get that straightened out. Anyway, for that cost though, they were $1.94 each. I did a pickup order for this, and if you are trying to do a stockpiling trip, I highly recommend that because it allows you to very carefully watch the prices as you are adding things to the cart and stay within your budgeted number. So for everything on this counter, all of these items, my grand total came in at $98.17, just under $100 for all of these items to restock my stockpile. So there you have it. I actually was able to buy 67 items for under $100, right at that $98.17. I feel really good about it. All of these items that I bought behind me are items that our family uses on a regular basis. If and when you are building a stockpile for your family, it is going to look different than what my stockpile does. You may not use cream of chicken soup. That might not be something you buy. Think of through the things that your family uses on a regular basis and start stocking up on those items. That is the best way to build your stockpile on a budget. I have lots of other tips about stockpiles. I have a whole playlist. I will leave that link below, as well as a quick start-free guide to building your stockpile and some checklists to help you do that. So that link is in the comments if you want to sign up and grab that as well. But let's talk, I promised, 10 items that I think everyone can buy. Hopefully what you saw behind me gives you some good ideas of things to stock up on, but here's the 10 items I think everyone should stockpile in their pantry. The first thing is baking ingredients, and this includes anything, your flours, your sugars, your cocoa, your chocolate chips, any of those things. Any of those things that you use to bake, go ahead and stock up, because anything you can make from scratch does often save your family money, and it just means you're a little more prepared. I love to bake, so I have a lot of baking things in my stockpile. If you don't bake as much, you might not want to stock up on those things, but any of those baking items you use, go ahead and add those to your stockpile. The next thing to stock up on is canned fruits and vegetables. Focus on those items that your family uses. For our family, that is a lot of canned green beans and canned corn. We skip the canned peas and the lima beans. We don't like those. And fruit-wise, we're gonna stock up on a lot of peaches and applesauce. Know what your family likes. Having shelf-stable fruits and vegetables is great for wintertime or any time of year you need a quick side. It's a very cost-efficient way to get your fruits and vegetables, and it helps supplement when you can't find a good deal on fresh produce. The next item to stock up on would be beans. Any kind of beans, whatever beans you would eat, and whether you prefer canned or dried, go ahead and add some beans to your stockpile. Along with that, rice. You've heard people say rice and beans. It's a very frugal thing. It lasts a long time. I would recommend stocking up on white rice, whether it's jasmine, basmati, whole grain, whatever it is, over brown. Brown just does not last as long, but go ahead and add some rice to your stockpile. You can also definitely add pasta. And this probably should have been first on my list because I think everyone should have some pasta on hand. It's a very cheap, easy meal. It's shelf stable, lasts for years on your pantry. This is a really good thing to stockpile, especially if you have little kids, because little kids tend to love pasta. Along with that, you're going to want to stock up on your canned tomato products. That would be anything that you saw behind me, like your tomato sauce, tomato paste, maybe canned diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, and of course tomato sauce. Any of those things. This would be the one item you do want to watch a little more carefully with your expiration dates, because tomato products are acidic. So as it gets closer, just make sure you're using all of those before the expiration date. Another canned item to stock up on would be canned soups. Maybe it's the cream of chicken soup that you use in baking, or maybe it's actually a canned soup that you would eat in the winter. It's very nice to have easy, quick meals like that again are shelf stable on your pantry. So watch for sales on things like that and stock up on your canned soups. Another great item to stockpile is peanut butter. Peanut butter is very high in protein. It is shelf stable, lasts a long time. This is a great item to add to your stockpile. We have lots in our stockpile right now, and I'm watching for sales around the back to school time, which is why you don't see any in this stockpile haul, but I always have peanut butter on our pantry shelves. Along with that, go ahead and stock up on condiments. And this is a broad category. This could be your jams and jellies to go with the peanut butter. It could be your ketchups and mustards, your barbecue sauce, your syrups that you would use for breakfast times. Any condiments that your family uses on a regular basis, take a look at those expiration dates and stock up on what your family uses. And then the final item I think everyone should have in their stockpile is your salt and spices. Salt adds a lot of flavor. Again, shelf stable, lasts a long time. Some would say salt does not expire at all, or if it's properly treated. And then spices add a lot of good flavoring. So start this very simply. You can easily buy spices right around $1 in smaller containers at Walmart or Aldi, or you can stock up on larger containers of spices at Sam's. All right, those are 10 things I think everyone could stockpile, and you've seen some of the things I just added to my stockpile. There was definitely some overlap there, but some of the things were different because these were the things our family is using. I would love to know, what does your family typically keep in your stockpile at all times? Let me know in the comments, or if you have any other additions, I'd love to hear what you are stocking up on. I hope this video was helpful. If you are looking for more information on stockpiling, I do have a whole playlist like I've mentioned. There's that free printable you can grab in the comments, and I hope you'll subscribe and join me, because I believe that having a stockpile is really one of the best ways to save your family money, and I believe in building your stockpile on a budget. I honestly build most of my stockpile with the $500 monthly budget that I use for our family of 6. So if you want to see how I do it, go ahead and subscribe, because every Thursday I will share a frugal grocery haul where it shows you all the shopping I'm doing for our family and our meals that week, as well as anything I'm adding to and restocking in our stockpile. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions about stockpiling or anything I bought, be sure to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.